Greetings to all peoples and kingdoms of Arda, and welcome to Shieldmaidens of Arda. Happy Hobbit Day 2023. We've got something special today on Shieldmaidens to celebrate the birthdays of Frodo and Bilbo. When Tolkien wrote the words, "I'm back," they were not meant to be the final words of the Lord of the Rings. There was an epilogue that he wrote, showing Sam and his children in their home, talking around the fire and telling stories. Sadly, the epilogue never made it into the book. Still, that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it. So here it is, JRR Tolkien's first version of his epilogue, voiced by my talented cast of hobbits. So sit back and let the Shieldmaiden be your guide into the wonderful world of Middle-earth. In one evening in March, 1436, Master Samwise Gamgee was taking his ease by a fire in his study, and the children were all gathered about him, as was not at all unusual, although it was always supposed to be a special treat. He had been reading aloud, as was usual, from a big red book on a stand, and on a stool beside him sat Eleanor, and she was a beautiful child, more fair-skinned than most hobbit maids, and more slender, and she was now running up into her teens, and there was Frodo Lad on the hearthrug, and in spite of his name as good a copy of Sam as you could wish, and Rose and Merry and Pippin were sitting in chairs much too big for them. Goldilocks had gone to bed, for in this Frodo's foretelling had made a slight error, and she came after Pippin, and was still only 5, and the red book rather too much for her yet. But she was not the last of the line, for Sam and Rose seemed likely to rival the old Juronius Tuck and a number of their children, as successfully as Bilbo had passed his age. There was little Ham, and there was Daisy in her cradle. "Whoa, dear," said Sam, "it grew there once, because I saw it with my own eyes."
Does it grow there still, Daddy?
"I don't see why I wouldn't, Ellie. I've never been on my travels again, as you know, having all you young folk to mind. Regular ragtag and bobtail old salmon would have caught it. But Mr. Merry and Mr. Pippin, they've been south more than once, for they sort of belong there, too, now."
And haven't they grown big?
Said Merry.
I wish I could grow big like Mr. Merrydock of Buckland. He's the biggest hobbit that ever was, bigger than Branderbits. Not bigger than Mr. Peregrine of Tuckborough,
Said Pippin.
And he's got hair that's almost golden. Is Prince Peregrine way down in the Stone City Den?
"Well, he never said so," said Sam, "but he's highly thought of. That I know. But now where are we getting to?"
"Nowhere,"
said Frodo Lad.
"I want to hear about the spider again. I like the parts when you come in, Dan." "But, Dad, you were talking about Lorien,"
said Eleanor.
"And what if my flower still grows there?"
"I expect it does, Ellie dear. For as I was saying, Mr. Merry, he says that though the lady has gone, the elves still live there."
"When can I go and see? I want to see elves then, and I want to see my own flower."
"If you'll look through a glass, you'll see one that is sweeter," said Sam, "though I should not be telling you, for you'll find it out soon enough for yourself."
"But that isn't the same. I want to see the green hill and the white flowers and the golden and hear the elves sing."
"Then maybe you will someday," said Sam. "I said the same when I was your age, and long after, and there didn't seem much hope, and yet it came true."
"But the elves are sunning away still, aren't they? And soon there'll be none, will there, Dan?"
said Rose.
"And then all will be just places, and very nice, but
"But what, Rosie lass?"
not like in stories."
"Well, it would be so if they all was to sail," said Sam, "but I am told they aren't sailing any more. The Reen has left the havens, and those that made up their mind to stay when Master Elwar left are staying. And so there'll be elves still for many and many a day."
"Still, I think it was very sad when Master Elrond left Rivendell and the lady left Lorien,"
said Eleanor.
"What happened to Celeborn? Is he very sad?"
"I expect so, dear. Elves are sad, and that's what makes them so beautiful, and why we can't see much of them. He lives in his own land, as he always has done," said Sam. "Lorien is his land, and he loves trees."
"No one else in the world hasn't got a Malon like we have they?"
said Merry.
"Only us and Lord Celeborn."
"So I believe," said Sam. "Secretly it was one of the greatest prides of his life. Well, Celeborn lives among the trees, and he is happy in his elvish way, I don't doubt. They can afford to wait, elves can. His time has not come yet. The lady came to his land, and now she is gone, and he has the land still. When he tires of it, he can leave it. So with Legolas. He came with his people, and they live in a land across the river, Ithilien, if you can say that. And they've made it very lovely, according to Mr. Pippin. But he'll go to sea with one day, I don't doubt. But not while Gimli's still alive."
"What happened to Gimli?"
said Frodo Lad.
"Oh, I liked him. Please, can I have an accent then? Are there any orcs left?"
"I dare say there are, if you know where to look," said Sam. "But not in the Shire, and you won't have an axe for chopping off heads, Frodo Lad. We don't make them. But Gimli, he came down to work for the king in the city, and he and his folk walked so long they got used to it and proud of the walk. And in the end they settled up in the mountains away west behind the city, and there they are still. And Gimli goes once every other year to see the glittering caves.
And does Legolas go to see Treebeard?
Asked Eleanor. I can't say, dear, said Sam. I've never heard of anyone that has ever seen an Ent since those days. If Mr. Merry and Mr. Pippin have, they keep it secret, and very close are Ents.
And have they never found Entwise?
Well, we've seen none here, have we? Said Sam.
No,
Said Rosie Lass.
but I look for them when I go in the wood. I would like the Entwise to be found.
So would I, said Sam, but I'm afraid there's no trouble, too old and too deep for folks like us to mend, my dear. But now no more questions for tonight, at least not until after supper,
But that won't be fair.
said both Merry and Pippin, who were not in their teens.
We shall have to go directly to bed.
Don't talk like that to me, said Sam sternly. If it ain't fair for Ellie and Fro to sit up after supper, it ain't fair for them to be born sooner, and it ain't fair that I'm your dad and you're not mine. So no more of that. Take your turn and what's due in your time, or I'll tell the king. They had heard this threat before, but something in Sam's voice made it sound more serious on this occasion.
When will you see the king?
Said Frodo lad. Sooner than you think, said Sam. Well, now let's be fair. I'll tell you all. Stay upwards and go to bed. It's a big secret. But don't you go whispering and waking up the youngsters. Keep it till tomorrow. A dead hush of expectancy fell on all the children. They watched him as Hobbit children of other times had watched the wizard Gandalf. The king's coming here, said Sam solemnly.
Coming
back again, cried the children. No, said Sam, but he's coming north. He won't come into the Shire because he has given orders that no big folk are to enter this land again after those ruffians, and he would not come himself just to show he means it. But he will come to the bridge, and, Sam paused, he has issued a very special invitation to every one of you, yes, by name. Sam went to a drawer and took out a large scroll. It was black and written in letters of silver.
When did that come, Daddy?
Said Mary.
It came as a South Farthing Post 3 days ago on Wednesday.
Said Eleanor.
I saw it. It was wrapped in silk and sealed with big seals.
Quite right, my bright eyes, said Sam. Now look. He unwrote it. It is written in Elvish and in plain language, said Sam, and it says, Elisar Aragorn, Arathornson the Elfstone, King of Gondor and Lord of the Westlands, will approach the bridge of Barad-dûr on the first day of spring, or on the Shire reckoning, the 25th day of March next, and desires to greet all his friends. In especial, he desires to see Master Samwise, Mayor of the Shire, and Rose his wife, and Eleanor, Rose, Goldilocks, and Daisy his daughters, and Frodo, Merry, and Pippin, and Hamfast his sons. There you are. There are all your names.
But they are the same in both lists,
said Eleanor, who could read. Ah, said Sam, that's because the first list is Elvish. You're the same Ellie in both, because your name is Elvish. But Frodo is Yohel, and Rose is Beryl, and Merry is Galia, and Pippin is Corndulv, and Goldilocks is Glorfindel, and Hamfast is Mothonk, and Daisy is Ardian. So now you know.
Well, that's splendid,
said Frodo.
Now we have a Elvish names, but what's yours then?
Well, that's rather peculiar, said Sam. For in the Elvish part, if you must know, what the king says is, Master Porhel, who should rather be called Longhel, and that means, I believe, Samwise or Halfwise, who should rather be called Plainwise. So now you know what the king thinks of your dad, you'll maybe give more heed to what he says.
And ask him lots more questions,
said Frodo.
When is March the 25th?
Said Pippin, to whom days were still the longest measures of time that could really be grasped.
Is it soon? It's a week today,
said Eleanor.
When shall we start? And what shall we wear?
Said Rose. Ah, said Sam, and Mistress Rose will have a say in that. But you'll be surprised, my dears. We have had a warning of this a long time, and we've prepared for the day. You're going in the most lovely clothes you've ever seen, and we're riding in a coach. And if you're all very good and look as lovely as you do now, I shouldn't be at all surprised if the king does not ask us to go with him to his house up by the lake. And the queen will be there too.
And should we stay up to supper?
Said Rose, to whom the nearness of promotion made this an upper-pressing concern. We should stay for weeks, and to the hay-harvest at least, said Sam, and we should do what the king says. But as for staying up to supper, no doubt the queen will have a word. And now if you haven't enough to whisper about for hours, and to dream about till the sun rises, then I don't know what more I can tell you. The stars were shining in a clear sky, It was the first day of the clear, bright spell that came every year to the Shire at the end of March, and was every year welcomed and praised as something surprising for the first time every year. All the children were in bed. Lights were glimmering still in Hobbiton, and the many houses dotted about the darkening countryside. Sam stood at the door and looked away eastward. He drew Mistress Rose to him and held her close to his side. "March 18th, he said. "This time 17 years ago, Rosewife, I did not think I should ever see thee again, but I kept on hoping."
"And I never hoped at all, Sam," she said, "until that very day, and then suddenly I did. In the middle of the morning I began singing, and Father said, 'Quiet, lass, or the ruffians will come.' And I said, 'Let them come. The time will soon be over. My Sam's coming back.' And he came."
"I did," said Sam, "to the most belovedest place in all the world. I was torn in two then, lass, but now I am whole, and all that I have, and all that I have had, I still have." They went in and shut the door, but even as he did so, Sam heard suddenly the sigh and murmur of the sea on the shores of Middle-earth.